science enthusiasts. Welcome to Spaces Unleashed. Every week on Twitter, we bring an expert to chat live through the Spaces program. And this is bonus content that goes with the Science Podcast. We hope you enjoy the show.
All right, I think we'll get going. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Zakowski. I am the dog dad of Bunsen and Beaker, the science dogs. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we try to bring you somebody from an area of science to chat about their amazing self and what they do. And after about 20 to 25 minutes of some questions to get to know them, we'll open the floor to the audience. So you can also ask our guest some questions. Today, we have the amazing Ashley Walker, who's an astrochemist. Ashley was a guest on the podcast a while ago, and it's great to have you back. How are you doing tonight, Ashley?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well.
And Ashley, I introduced you as a astrochemist. What's your training to be an astrochemist?
I have a background. So my background, I have a bachelor's in chemistry, and majority of my research, okay, I'm lying, all of my research has been in astronomy, in planetary science.
So when you were little, were you the person that was mixing stuff up as a kid, but also looking up to the stars? Like, did you have your eyes on Earth, but also up to the sky?
I admired the moon. I was very fascinated. I wanted my mom to buy me a star, but I also did other things. So, like, as most kids, right, we switch our mind. Most kids switch what they want to do every 5 seconds. So it went from being a moon. I literally wanted to be a moon, and my mom to buy me a star, to me wanting to be a gymnast or a ninja. So it would change. It would literally change, right? But I think growing up, it kind of, going to Adler Planetarium in Chicago, my aunts took me to Adler Planetarium, and then my uncle bought me a telescope, and so it was a ruby red telescope. I'll never forget it. And I think that was like the instrumentation, that was the push for me to go in that direction.
So from the planetarium, you got the bug for space. What astronomy, right, is the study of things outside of the Earth. What was the pull to chemistry? Because that's interesting too, right?
Absolutely. So I didn't start. I did not have that drive for chemistry. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't. I took chemistry in high school, and this is the crazy part, right? So I took earth, space, science, chemistry, and biology in high school. That's so coincidental, right? So, but I was more so worried about like earth, space, science, in which I actually, some years back, ended up running into my my high school teacher. And she was just like, she was in tears. She was in tears that somebody was doing what she taught, right? And so over time, I ended up going to community college, which is like here in the U.S., for those who are calling anywhere in the world. That's 2 years. So I took a little bit longer, but I was literally watching Criminal Minds. This is so cliche. I was watching Criminal Minds, like, I think I can do that. And so I wanted to be a forensic chemist. And so that's where the chemistry came in. So I wanted to solve crimes. And so I wanted to solve crimes because of things that were happening in Chicago. And so that was something that I was really, really passionate about. But I ended up going to Chicago State. I ended up going from the 2 year to the 4 year. So, and that's typically like traditional, but again, it took me a little bit longer than 2 years. I won't say a lot of it longer than 2 years to go from the 2-year to the 4-year. So I ended up going to the 4-year, which is Chicago State, the only Black 4-year college in the state of Illinois here in the U.S. I ended up going there, and someone had astronomy. They had astronomy research, and so that person actually pushed me to do it as a chemist. So, which was very odd to them.
To mix the two. It was odd to mix the two? Is that what you're getting at?
Absolutely. Yeah, because they never seen anyone do it. So it was like, huh? I mean, I think you can, but okay. Like, they're used to physicists coming out doing it. They're not used to someone coming on the chemistry side saying this. And so now that it has been proven to be done, right now they're like, oh, okay.
You're a trailblazer, Ashley. So from your program and working through that, what are some of the things that you study? Like for people to wrap our head around Astrochemist, what are some of the things that you study?
So so the things that I previously studied into the things that I now study, which is I literally had to wrap my head around the fact that I'm studying everything that I did in undergrad. Like, I was like, what? I like my advisor had to like really, he stopped, and we were in a group meeting. He stopped. He was like, wait, what? He was like, oh, wait, you've done that. Yeah, you don't need to go over that, right? Because he just have you reading papers and stuff like that. He was like, wait, you've done it. I don't need you to have to read that. So the work that I have done, I've looked at ice chemistry in early planet forming regions, which we like to call protoplanetary disks, which are literally like spinning pizza dishes. If we want to sit down and like really think of a spinning pizza dish, and you have like your toppings, which is forming as little planets and moons and asteroids and what have you, right? And from that point, that spinning pizza dish turns into the solar system, and so that's what we like to think of how planets form. And so I studied that ice chemistry and how it helps with habitable zones, and how it helps us determine habitable zones. But then that was the internship that I did at Harvard, and then I went to Johns Hopkins, and I worked on Titan, which is my baby, my beloved baby. I will forever try to work on Titan. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna continue trying to work on it. Titan is our second largest moon in our solar system. It is very unique. It basically reminds us of home. It has a lot of the same similar, if not very similar features here on Earth. It has clouds. A thick haze, which can kind of, that is very, frustrating for some scientists to try to figure out what's the haze, because we don't know, right? And that's what, Dragonfly, when it launches in 2027, that's what or is it 26 now? One of the two, when it launches. We'll try to figure out like its prebiotic chemistry. And so it also it rains there. It has lakes and oceans and rivers and ponds. So it's something that we really, really want to see, that's really, really cool. And so then I went on to NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, which I still can't talk too much about this topic, but I did study ISIS on Titan. And unfortunately, that's all I can give you for that one, because, yeah.
You're working somewhere top secret, Ashley. This is so cool. That's okay. You can't tell us.
Basically, I actually picked up my childhood dream of being a ninja.
Do you know how much street cred this gives you? You're like, I can't tell you where I work and I can't tell you what I work on, but it's cool.
Exactly.
So, okay, so let's rewind. Can we talk about Titan a bit more? Is that okay? Because I re-listened to some of our discussion on the podcast, and it gives me goosebumps talking about this moon. So when you say it reminds us of home and it's got clouds, Are those
Mhm.
are those clouds like clouds on Earth, or are they very different?
Those clouds are a little bit different, and we're still trying to figure out like what those clouds could be made of, right? But we can definitely see some methane and other complex organic chemistry that is in there. A lot of hydrocarbons that from what we've previously seen, right? Um, which is really cool. And so there's quite a few. There's quite a few schematics, drawings out there with the comparison of the two, which I did use in my senior thesis defense. And I was like, look, this is the comparison. Like I was really on it as I am now. So when we think about early Earth and how it was so ucky and mucky and like, oh my God, it was like you couldn't breathe. It had very little oxygen and things of that nature. That's the model that's how we're looking at Titan.
And then you say it has like it's got rivers and lakes and it rains on Titan, but
Absolutely.
but that's not water. Is that like it's not raining water that we know of? It's something else.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Because it's so
Absolutely
cold,
not.
right? It's like
It's extremely cold and it rains. It rains methane and ethane and I believe ammonia if I'm not mistaken, and it has methane and ethane lakes. So I mean, if you want to take a dive, by all means. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but by all means.
well, I do live in Canada and it was pretty gnarly yesterday with the snow and the wind. I don't think I would take a little dip in liquid ammonia though. I think that'd be a bit chilly. So I want everybody in the audience just to wrap your head around that it's raining methane. Like methane is the gas that like in my lab for the kids, we run our Bunsen burners on. Like it's that gas that comes out of the Bunsen burner taps. And it's raining it. Uh, like how, how much colder is Titan than Earth? Like hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit colder or
Hmm.
Celsius? Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I literally, I was just like, because I have a little cousin and she's always so curious about science and stuff like that. And she's like, can we live here? Can we live here? And so I was telling her about it, about Titan. And preface, she thinks I'm 8, by the way. So she thinks I'm 8. And so we're going to go with that for the next maybe 10, 15 years that that I'm like around her age. We're going to keep that going for about 10, 15 years till she realizes I'm actually an adult. And so she asked me about these things, and she asked me like, how cold it is, and can we live there? And I told her no, but we can like fly. So I thought that was cool to tell her because if you take 2 cardboard boxes, because of how dense it is there, you can flap your wings and you can fly away.
And this has something to do with the dragonfly thing you mentioned. Could you tell us a little bit more about dragonfly?
I'm not on the mission.
Oh,
However, I'm
okay.
a big enthusiast.
Yeah. Is that okay? I'm sorry I caught you off guard. It's so it's so ironic. The very first podcast episode I ever did, Ashley, I talked about this dragonfly thing. Like the very first science podcast episode talked about dragonfly. And since you're an enthusiast, I'd like you to like if you're comfortable, could you explain what it is?
So, Dragonfly is I think it's a well, the rotocopter or quadrocopter lander, which will which will, you know, take off by the time I graduate, either 2026 or 2027. I can't think of the correct timeline on me right now. But it goes to Titan and it looks at its prebiotic chemistry. Um, it we scientists want to know more about its geology. They want to know more about what could be the potential haze, as I discussed earlier, which people are still trying to figure out what the heck is going on. They also want to get a glimpse of what could be there and what what potential other liquids could be there as well, right? So this is something that is really, really cool and really, really amazing. Which when I was at Johns Hopkins, when I first learned about it, I was just like, y'all know this getting picked, right? And everyone was like, oh, I don't know. And it got picked, and I was so right. And I knew because I just knew it because I know people. And I was, cracking jokes because there was another proposal. I think it was for a comet. It was for a comet, and man, I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But I was like, "Don't nobody want to go to a comet? We just went there. Why did we go?" And I'm all dramatic about it, and everybody was laughing at me. And I was just like, "What? I'm so serious." And so, Dragonfly to me is like one of the best things, and I'm so happy to see other missions. And speaking of like other missions, Da Vinci and Veritas, I'm so happy to see those. Venus is also getting some love there too. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a party on Venus. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen there, and I hope one day that we also have a party on the ice giants because I would love to see that.
Right, you've mentioned the two Venus missions that were announced by NASA 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Is one like a weather balloon type thing? Like it's gonna be floating higher around, or is it a lander? Did I get that right or wrong? I forget.
I forget too. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see all the like planets get like I know it's people out there that love Mars, but there are other places in the solar system besides Mars.
yeah. That's right. We've got a bunch of rovers on Mars, right? Like they're doing a good job there. We can look somewhere else.
Exactly.
Oh, as a space enthusiast, I am very excited for what Dragonfly is going to find on Titan. Like, won't it answer a whole bunch of these questions within the first readings that it brings back? Like, because it's going to be there. Like, it's going to be able to test all of the gases on Titan.
Yeah, it should be able to do some more things. Excuse me. It should be able to give us some answers that we were looking for years, decades. So this is something that is truly special, and I'm very, very excited for everyone over there that is involved.
A couple more questions, Ashley. Besides Titan, which you said is your baby, you love Titan. Is there something else in the solar system or outside of our solar system that you like a lot or you find really interesting? Something that you would share with us?
So currently, now I'm going to get into the work that I do. So currently I am doing exoplanetary atmospheres. I'm doing exoplanetary atmospheres. We also want to know a little bit more um, about ice giants, anything ices. Basically, I am working on. I will probably be the reigning queen Elsa in a few if my advisor lets me. Um, so we want to look at and see what is this ice chemistry giving us? Um, what is how can this help us with planetary habitability? Um, with clouds, aerosols, things of that nature. So I actually ended up bringing it back to what I did in undergrad. So except for adding, additional pieces to planetary atmospheres and planet forming regions.
Sweet. Now, are you also excited for the Webb telescope and what it's going to send back to us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am really, 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 really excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone that is waiting for data to come back to them.
NASA has this little tracker. Have you been on that site, Ashley, where it was like tracking how fast it's going and what the Webb telescope is doing and how far it is to the L2 point. I don't know if you've been on that website before, but
I was stalking that website
you were
at first.
stalking it. Okay, all right. I'm not bananas. Okay, so I was doing that too, and every morning I would put it. Every morning I put it up on my smartboard because I teach high school kids, right? And boy, the high school kids got attached to the Webb telescope. I forgot one day, and they're like, "What happened to the Webb telescope? How come it's not on the board? Did it blow up?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." But every time I load that page, I have a little bit of anxiety. Like, is it still okay? Like, is it doing all of its thing? Like, it's moving all of its mirrors today, and I was pretty stressed out about that. But
Not, I'm laughing at the kids saying, did it blow up?
yeah. Well, they're just they grow attached to it because they check the numbers and they'd see what it's doing and like because I teach science, it's really topical, right? It's this crazy human invention, this amazing human invention actually. It is going to look at exoplanets outside of our solar system. So I'm excited for that data to come to folks like you to see what's going on. I don't know if you're on the team. It's secret, right? What you're doing right now is kind of secret. You can't tell us yes or no.
I am not on the JWST team.
Okay, all right. You can say that. It's not like blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
Right.
Right? Like if you're on the James Webb team, give me a peace sign, or if not, give me a cry face, right? So we could use emojis to maybe get around some of your top secret ninja work. But I don't want to get you into trouble. Um, a couple more questions just about you outside of science.
Mm-hmm.
We always ask our guests about a pet story. Do you have a pet story you could share with us?
Oh my God, I have one from yesterday.
Okay.
So I just want people to know it's very normal to argue with your pets. I have 3 cats, Precious, Pepper, and Smokey. Precious and Pepper are a couple. They are married. I'm a kitty ordained priest. Um, and they literally, I'm going to post some pictures up later, but they literally snuggle together. Like you would come over and they are like in my bed and they are like a couple. And then Precious and Smokey are brother and sister. They were born in the same litter. So the boys were okay yesterday. The boys, they were okay. Pepper's 10. So he's a senior cat. And he was doing his normal meow of my meow is a lie. Mom already fed me. So, which my mom was like, I already fed him. Don't pay attention to him. I was like, okay. But Precious, on the other hand, was just, I don't know what she was doing yesterday. She was doing some of everything. She was getting into everything yesterday. And she was just like taking stuff, ripping it down, running around. And I was just like, you know what? All right, Precious, you got to get out of my room. So I put her out of my room, and she was just meowing and scratching at the door. Now her brother, on the other hand, is in my bed, not doing nothing. He's asleep. This is Smokey. He's asleep. And so he's asleep. And so my mom comes in the room, and I'm like, don't let her in. She lets her in, and my mom goes, oh, why can't your baby sister come in there? Because she says, really, because Precious does act like a little sister. And so she acts like an annoying little sister. And so she's like, oh, why don't you let your sister come in here? Oh, why don't you all make up? And I was just like, you know what? So if Precious, I'm not at home at the moment, but if Precious was here, you all will hear Precious meowing in the background. She wants the center of attention to be on her. So that is Precious.
I love it. Super cute. And Ashley, you're absolutely right. I talk to the dogs, Bunsen and Beaker, all the time. The most common question is I ask Bunsen what Beaker's doing. I'm like, Bunsen, what is Beaker doing? And Bunsen doesn't know either. So we're both confused.
When I was looking for Smokey Sunday, my partner and I were looking for Smokey, and he's probably in his room and don't want to be bothered. He's an all black cat. If I was an all black cat, I would hide. And so I was like, Smokey, did you let Smokey out? No, where's Smokey? And so Smokey comes out of the room, stretching. And so the other two were looking for him. They were meowing like, where is he? Where is he? I understand that completely.
I love it. And the last question, Ashley, what do you do outside of being an astrochemist? What are some of your hobbies? What do you do to distress?
Oh my God, my cats are my life. No, I'm just joking. I'm a huge Marvel fan. So I kind of binge watch on everything that I have not caught up with to make sure that I am caught up with, because I am so ready for Doctor Strange to come out. If you haven't seen Spider-Man, please go see it. Please. It's a really good movie.
It's
Uh,
so good. It's so good.
very good. Um, and also, I'm also the founder of Black and Astro, co-founder of Black and Kim and Black and Physics. And so these are communities and non-for-profit organizations that that support Black scientists, along with the Black and X movement, which had started in 2020, almost 2 years ago. Can't believe that was that fast. We've been in the pandemic that long. But these movements started due to the racial and social injustices on Black folks in America and also around the world. So if you want to if you want to learn more, you can always go to www.blackandx.org.
I found you, I think, through one of those posts, actually, Ashley. And then on your profile, you can follow, like, is it a hashtag as well or an at? It's an
Um,
at. It's an
yeah,
at.
my page is an ad. Yes, my page is an ad.
Yes. So do you watch the Marvel Netflix shows, or are you more a Marvel movie person?
Both, and I got to catch up on the Eternals.
On the Eternals? Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I watched that the other day, and I don't know if it was my wife's favorite Marvel movie, but definitely the Spider-Man. Oh, so good. Two thumbs up. Two thumbs way up for that Spider-Man movie.
I know. I told my mom, me and my mom went to go see it together. And so, I was like, it's the best movie ever. She said, all I know is every time I go to the movies with you, I bet not see you crying. I was like, what?
Oh my goodness. Is there a Marvel Netflix TV show that you're excited for? There's like a couple coming out right away here, I think.
I have to finish watching Hawkeye
Okay.
on Disney Plus. Yeah, I have to finish watching Hawkeye. And then I have to travel back to Loki. I'm so sorry.
Hey, everybody, thanks for listening to our show week after week. If you want to know how to support the Science Podcast, here are a couple ways. It's always going to be free to download, so you'll never have to worry about paying for it. But, things do cost money running a podcast, and here are a couple ways you could help us out. One is join our Patreon page. It's amazing. It's growing. It's almost like an extended family. There's multiple tiers of support, and we have lots of fun perks for being part of our Patreon page. The other way you could support us is giving us an awesome review on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, anywhere you can rate our podcast. Give us a great review. The third way you could support the show is checking out the BunsenBurnerBMD.com website. We have awesome merch there. We worked really hard finding quality merchandise that's comfortable with vibrant colors. And you'll find in limited quantities over the next couple months, maybe even less, the 2022 Bunsen and Beaker calendar. So 3 ways to support us: the Patreon page, 2, give us a great review, 3, head over to our merch stop and see if there's anything there you'd like. Thanks, everybody.
So, folks from the audience, if you have a question for Ashley that's within her realm of expertise, so something about our solar system, maybe chemistry on a planet, maybe a Marvel movie you have a question about, you can request to be a speaker and ask a question away. And just keep in mind, as the moderator, I do check if you're new to our spaces, I do check to see who you are, and I make sure you're not a troll or a bot with a million ones and zeros before we get to ask Ashley a question. Okay, so we'll go over to Paula. So Paula, you're going to be up here right away. Go ahead, Paula.
Hi, how's everybody doing tonight? Hi, Ashley. Nice to talk to you. I have a couple questions. Is first one, I don't know if you could even answer this, but did anybody hear about that meteor that was coming near Earth today or something? It was supposed to be like it's only like 1,000,000 miles away or something, but it was still supposed to be really close. Do you follow that at all?
I briefly saw it when I opened my emails today.
Yeah, so did I. That's about where I saw it too. So I was kind of wondering about that too. But anyway, my second question is Titan any way, shape, or form close to our moon as far as what's on our surface of the moon, or is it totally like 180? And how much larger is Titan compared to our moon? Like if you said, okay, it would take like 3 of our moons to make one of Titan or something. So I just kind of wondered a little bit about the characteristics of that.
Sorry about that. I was like, wait, where did I go? So Titan is completely different. So a lot of people often actually confuse Titan as a planet, which I just seen somewhere that they're like moons are actually planets. So I'm gonna have to go back on Astrobytes. Shout out to Astrobytes. So that's a graduate student led account and everything that they're doing over there. There are partners at Black and Astro, but Titan is extremely different. So when you think of home, you want to think of how Titan is. So that's what we know of Titan. So again, when we get a chance to see what's happening there, we'll have when Dragonfly goes there, we'll have a better view. Now, I don't think that it's going to be people or anything like that running around there, but we do think that there's going to be like some small microbial life going on.
Oh, that's really cool. And as far as Dragonfly now, where is it now? Is it like because I think it's 2026. It's supposed to I think be there, but I don't know. I might be wrong. But where is it in conjunction to the planets now? Like, is it approaching that, or is it gonna? Of course, it's gonna take a while, but
I have no clue where they are in the process. I don't know where they are in the process. I'm sorry, I'm not on the mission. I wish I was, but they'll probably. I'm pretty sure in like the next maybe couple of years or so, we'll get like how we kept getting updates with James Webb. We'll probably be getting like similar things to that nature. And so we're all probably going to be like nervous like we were once again. And then when it happens, we're going to be excited.
well, thank you very much. You're very engaging, and I really enjoyed listening to you tonight. Thank you so much again for taking my question, Jason.
Yeah, no problem, Paula.
I also want to answer her question because she asked me, is Titan the size of Titan? So Titan is actually bigger than Mercury. So it is, of course, twice as big as our moon.
That just blows my mind. Like it really is a planet, isn't it? Would you fight for it to be a planet, Ashley?
I think everybody will fight for it to be a planet. I mean, we're still fighting for Pluto.
All right. Are you team Pluto or team not Pluto?
As of recently, I have to be Pluto.
Okay. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot there, and now some people in black, men in black type things are going to come with those memory erasers because now you've switched
Oh
teams.
man, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to hear the end of it at the end of this week. Somehow my advisors, because I'm shocked my advisors didn't pop up in this room because they swore up and down they were coming. And they would have asked me a million questions, and then I just would have been like, you know what, y'all, it's been real. I gotta
go. Oh my goodness. So when you say imagine Titan like home, does that mean like it's not flat like the moon? Like Titan has geography, like
Yeah, that's something that we're really trying to figure. That's something that they're trying to figure out, right? They're trying to look more so into its geological, the geological aspect of Titan and its geography.
Gotcha. I didn't even hear about that meteor, Paula. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Maybe I missed that, or it wasn't on Twitter, or.
Oh yeah, it was all over the news. It was on the Weather Channel app. They even had a video of it because there's some Hubble telescope in Italy, and it actually shows it in the sky.
Cool.
Yeah, so check it out. So it's on the Weather Channel. I know that. So if anybody gets that app, you can probably scroll down and see the video of it. But it is pretty cool to see. And it's supposed to be like 3 football fields in length or some crazy thing. It said it could take out a city if it hit the Earth. So there you go.
I think I'm just kind of scared to learn about any kind of comet or asteroid after watching Don't Look Up on Netflix.
I was just going to say that.
So I'm like, maybe I don't want to.
Because I saw someone post it on Facebook, and I'm like, oh man, they got y'all scared now. People finna act a fool. Like, now people gonna be paranoid.
Well, I hope it misses us. But if it doesn't, I mean, if it's just going to take out a city, I don't know. Maybe it can.
A city.
Canada's a big place. There's lots of places it could hit where nobody lives. So it could just wreck a couple moose days, right? Some moose way out there, be like, doo-doo-doo. And then, boof, they get blown apart, and no human has to get hurt. So there we go. Does anybody have any questions for Ashley besides Paula? All you have to do is request to be a speaker. Now, you can direct message me if you have a question and you're kind of uneasy about asking it, because not everybody likes to speak. And I can I'll throw up in the nest. I will throw the. I thought I tweeted this out. Oh, maybe I did not. Maybe I just tweeted that to the wrong thing, and that's why it's not showing up. Oh, there it is. Okay. So in the nest, there's the little, it's spaces about space. So you can put your question in there.
Jason, I don't think you understand the impact that something hurtling at Earth, it would take out more than just a city or a couple moose. Okay. It would be a cataclysmic disaster.
I'm just trying to be positive.
Okay.
I'm trying to be like, Ashley, have you seen Don't Look Up? The show Don't Look Up?
Absolutely. And if you go on one of my board members of Black and Astro and co-organizers, Dakota Tyler's page, he actually has a TikTok talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yes. His name is DT Starkid.
DT Starkid. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, he's on Twitter. So he literally uploaded the video, I think, like a couple hours ago. So you can definitely check it out.
Sweet. I was, Chris, I was just trying to be like, we should just sit tight and assess. Like, I was just trying to put a positive spin on this horrific asteroid that might take out some moose. But anyways.
But Jason, there's a reason why we can't ask the dinosaurs.
That's right.
Yeah.
They didn't have a great space program.
No.
I do have to say that, that meteor probably did the best job of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Like, that's the highest per capita killing birds with 1 stone I've ever heard of, is that meteor. So, good. That's, anyways, over to Keith.
So many questions about that. I was thinking about this the other night, and I was like, wait a minute. If Earth at that time was feeling like its evil twin sister, and I don't know why Venus is called the evil twin sister. We're going to have to revisit that at another time. But I was trying to figure that out. I said, all right, now I need some answers. And I don't know. At some point, I'm going to go to the museum here in Chicago and visit Sue, because I'm going to ask her a question. Y'all think if I post it tonight, y'all think Sue going to respond?
She might. I think Sue follows us, Ashley.
Okay, so we got some questions we want to ask her, because, like, I have so many questions about, like, how were the dinosaurs surviving during that time period of when there was little oxygen?
I think they had a rough go. Like it was, yeah, not the best, not the best year of the dinosaur. Yeah, I have that. What a rough year. You think our pandemic years are bad? Just think about the year after the meteor strike the dinosaurs had. Like, they had it a little bit worse than us. Okay, over to Kiki. I think Kiki has a question, and then to Cece. Go ahead, Kiki.
First of all, I'm dying with all the puns, and um, you guys need to know. I'm not gonna say the joke that you wanted to do. I'm not gonna reveal that. But Jason was trying some jokes with us in one of the back channels. I'm glad we convinced. I at least I don't know if anybody else answered, but I know I convinced him not to do one. Anyway, I just love the talk about space, and Don't Look Up is absolutely amazing. However, on an interesting note, and because I usually make it funny when it's super, serious. Like last time, we're talking about the weather and cataclysmic storms. And now I'm gonna ask a serious question because we have been laughing. In all seriousness, I have read this before, and it wasn't just in the Don't Look Up movie. It's actually on scientific articles that there are many meteorites that carry precious metals and other materials that would be that we may or may not have on planet Earth. We also know from scientific research and it's not the flat earthers, Jason, it's actual scientific research that there are meteors that have hit the Earth, and we do have metals and precious stones that came from other planets. So, would you happen to know what is one of the rarest metal or stone that has landed on planet Earth, and what is that called? Does it have like a weird Latin Greek name that nobody can pronounce?
You know what? I don't even know. That's why I said, that's why I was saying earlier, go look at Dakota's video, because he was talking about how some of them had gold in them. And so he was talking about that in the video. And so because he did all of those things, that's my boy. I love him. He's a really cool kid. So I think you all can go to his Twitter page. Again, his handle is @DTStarKid. And underneath the video that he has, just ask that same question, because he may be able to answer it better than I can. Then I can also ask a cosmochemist as well, just to give you a feedback on what's happening. So I'm definitely gonna ask one of my collaborators about this, and I will get back to you, Kiki, as soon as I can.
Thank you so much. I'm following you. You have been absolutely fabulous, and also I want to thank you for representing women and diversity. We really, really need that representation. And thank you for inspiring young girls to become scientists. I just love it whenever Jason brings up women. It's so precious to me because it makes my heart melt. Thank you so very much. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you, Kiki.
Ashley, I think that the video is up in the nest. If you're on mobile, Dakota, Tyler, the asteroids get a bad rap. Time for a rebrand. If that's not the video, you can probably find it by going through that link for everybody.
That is the actual video.
Oh, sweet. Look at this technology. So from a chemistry standpoint, this is a bit speculation. I don't know if you could answer this, Ashley. Could there be other elements not found on the periodic table out there somewhere, or is that highly unlikely?
Absolutely. I believe so. Absolutely. I mean, because the way some of the molecules are found in space, I'm pretty sure there are some other elements that aren't on the periodic table. I mean, the periodic table could be even longer than what it is currently, right? And I just want to let y'all know I had to memorize that in inorganic chemistry, and that was a pain. So if we find other things, I will feel so sorry for other students that will have to memorize that. Like, oh my God, that is a pain. So, but I definitely think that there are other elements out there.
Did you memorize it using the song, like from ASAP Science? There's hydrogen and helium and lithium, beryllium. Like, did you memorize this?
Man, she was trying to get us there. I use flashcards.
Here's a cute story for you, Ashley. Pre-COVID, I get leave from my school to go do these like science shows for elementary school kids. So they're just like big chemistry demos, like I blow stuff up and make fireballs and things like the free stuff with liquid nitrogen. And the elementary school kids are like, woo, it's kind of cool. And when I got there, before I did my show, the teacher's like, we've been preparing for you to come all week. And these kids, this whole elementary school, they all stand up and they sang the entire periodic table of the element song to me before I did my show. And I actually started to cry. I was like, started to cry. It was so sweet. And they're like, what's wrong? And I was like, I got chemical in my eye. Just give me a second. So the little kids got it. I imagine if we threw some more elements in there, it would just, the melody would be off. Unobtainium, right? Something like that. Adamantium from Marvel. Adamantium. There we go. There could be adamantium out there. Over to Cece for your question, and then to Tracy.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question, and thanks for sharing, Ashley. It's been really fascinating. So my question is about when you were getting your bachelor's, and you said that there was an astronomer in the physics department, but that you were able to sort of combine and do astrochemistry like you wanted. And so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about how you worked with your professors to make that happen, and like Jason said, like really trailblazed that program at your institution.
So it was really, really so let me double back. So my now former advisor, at the time, she was just one of the professors that I had taken. And my former advisor, she ended up leaving because Illinois had a horrible state budget about 5 or 6 years ago, which kind of ruined everything for everybody if you ever worked in the state of Illinois. So my first astronomy advisor ended up leaving, but she left. What her and the Harvard professor did, once I got to Harvard, they had a personalized curriculum that they wanted me to just take certain courses. And so once my former advisor, who I started off doing astronomy research with, and then she left, and she was just like, okay, this is, she gave us a curriculum, and she also felt bad, so she was leaving me hanging, because I was her last astronomy student at Chicago State University, and I was also her last research student, because doing astronomy research, because now she does astronomy education. So when I started doing some of the courses and stuff like that, which one of the courses I did not take, and now I'm taking it now. So I'm really upset about it, but I'll be okay. But when we started taking some of the courses, there were certain things that I needed to know. For example, in terms of planet formation and stuff like that, you definitely need quantum physics, quantum chemistry. So that was something that I needed to know. And so my professors at the time were like, okay, because this is the field that you've decided, we need to work with you on X, Y, and Z. What is your strong points? What are your weak points? What is this? What is that? Right? Just to make sure that I understood everything that was happening at the within these classes. but also they also were really positive about some of the internships that I ended up doing. So my senior thesis was based on the work that I did at Johns Hopkins, which I was in back group for about a year and a half. And so with that work, they were working with me on like off to the side with like computer courses and things of that nature. So I had to do a little bit more extra work than most chemistry students within the department. And then we also had an engineering side of our department. And so I would often go to them for like certain skill sets that I felt like I needed. So, and then I'll double back to my analytical professor, who was like the perfect person, right, to help me with everything. So, so it was definitely a community effort, and I definitely got a lot of a ton of support from the Black women in physics, the African American women in physics group. They're a non-for-profit organization founded by Dr. Jamie Valentine, and those ladies were really, really supportive in everything that I've done. And so, in which I'm very honored to have 3 of those ladies as my mentors. So, when my professors were a little bit too busy, because Chicago State is such a small school, so when they were too busy and they couldn't like stop and like sit down and help me with this work, there were times where my mentor like, hey, you got some physics homework you want me to help you with, or hey, does this, it was really, really a team effort in order to do astrochemistry from an undergrad perspective.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Great question, Cece. Over to Tracy. Go ahead, Tracy.
Hi. I was also going to say something about how cool it is that you are in science. I like seeing different women perspectives, and like she also said, like you don't really see people of color as much in science, so I thought that is really cool as well. And then what I was going to ask is, what if you have like any recommendations for somebody who would want to just learn more about astronomy on a beginner level? Like I was in Young Astronauts as a kid, but I haven't really learned that much since then. So do you have any recommendations for anyone who would just like to learn more about astronomy, as in like books?
Sure. So I know my former advisor has an ebook online. I can definitely send over the link for that. It's basic astronomy. It's an introduction. It's an introduction to like cosmology and things of that nature. And I actually ended up being a learning assistant, which is like a TA, but we don't grade papers for that course. And so it helps you like just get your feet wet about astronomy and things of that nature. Let me see what else. There's a couple of other books that are out there. I'm gonna have to like really, really, really dig. Most of them are at home. Again, I'm not at home, so I can't like, oh, here's this book. So I can definitely make a post or have them send you some books. I can send them to send you some a list of books that can be helpful for anyone that wants to learn more about astronomy.
Perfect. Ashley,
Thank you.
if you make a post or if you send it to us, we can augment it as well. Like just tag us in that too. Or there might be more people than just Tracy that would like to have some of your knowledge on that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're at the top of the hour, folks. Does anybody else have any last minute questions? We had a couple by DM, but just to respect your time, Ashley, we said an hour, and I think we'll wrap it up here. Aside from your Twitter handle, or your Twitter account, everybody who's here, please follow Ashley. If you haven't already, it takes 2 seconds. You click on the little smiling photo with the hat. That is a large hat, by the way, Ashley. Is that a sun hat that you have? Like, what's going on with that hat in your profile?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, so you just have to... Sorry, that was a weird question. You just have to click on her profile picture in the chat, and then you can follow her in like a couple seconds. Oops, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted you, Ashley. I did not mean to do that on purpose. I was clicking on your photo and then muted you by accident. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that on purpose. Is there any place else you're on social media that people could follow you besides Twitter? Or is Twitter your main jam?
I'm on Instagram with the same handle.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the gram, is that what the cool kids are calling it now? The gram? I don't know.
I'm with you. I have no idea.
Are you on? It's what?
It's Insta.
Insta?
They call it Insta instead of gram, Instagram, but they call it Insta. It's on your Insta.
That's right, Jason. I mean,
oh my goodness.
Get in with the lingo.
Here's another joke / story. Since we're talking about Instagram, at Halloween, the kids dress up at our school. I love Halloween, by the way. It's one of my favorite holidays because I dress up too. And this one kid, he was kind of like a nerdy kid, and he dressed up as even more nerdy. And he was carrying around a box of graham crackers. And when anybody would say, "What are you?" he would scurry over to them with his box of graham crackers and then hand them a cracker and scurry away. And everybody like, "What is this kid doing?" And then after he did that like 7 times, he said, "I'm Instagram." And it killed. It was such a good costume. What a good pun for a costume. Instagram. Okay, anyways. So Ashley, sorry to waste your time with that, but you're on Instagram with the same handle. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's just a pleasure and a treat to talk to you again. And again, like just thinking about Titan gives me goosebumps. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. When can you tell us more about what you're working on? Or is it forever like ninja hush secret stuff?
So I just started busting up laughing when you said the ninja hush secret. So you should hear more. Give me about to probably August. That's
Okay.
how soon. That's how soon, right? And that's very soon for a PhD student. So
yeah,
we've been working. We've been working. We've been working over it.
If it's a big deal, if it's an announcement or something, you just have to tag us and we'll be excited to spread the word.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody give Ashley a 100 if you're in this down in the stage, please. This was great tonight. Thank you for our speakers who came, and everybody in the audience, thank you for coming. It's a busy day on Twitter Spaces today. I think last I checked, I've been kind of checking, there's between 50 and 90 different rooms going on right now. So thank you for picking this one, and thank you for listening to Ashley. Ashley, take care of yourself, hey?
You too. Talk to you all soon.
Yeah, you bet. I'm excited. Okay, take care, everybody. Our silly open chat on Saturday is still a go. It's every Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. It's just talking about pets. Chris and I we'll talk about Bunsen and Beaker. We will be way off topic. And if you want to come talk about your pets, you can too. So take care, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday if you're going to come for that. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.